Hello BookTube, my name is Juan, I am just one reader and we need to talk about Fool's Assassin by Robin Hobb. I am so excited about this video. It's going to be a very gushy video. There will be no spoilers in this video, by the way, so just feel free to watch comfortably. Even if you haven't read anything by Robin Hobb, you can watch this video. I will be super vague, super unspecific, just really ambiguous, but I will go into why I think Robin Hobb is the queen of everything. And this book in particular is one of the best things that I have read by Robin Hobb. This book is wonderful. Let me tell you why. So the first thing that has to be said is that this book, Fool's Assassin, is the first book in the last trilogy in her series. So there's a lot of expectations going in. There's a lot of things that she has to set up in this first book, in the final trilogy, because she has to provide us, the reader, with an interesting, compelling plot line for this particular series or trilogy, but also she has to wrap everything in the realm of the Elderlings up. And let me tell you, I am not disappointed. I think the way that she sets everything up in this book is just like, yes, you did it right. She really blew my mind just from the opening of the book. Like, just from the prologue and the first chapter alone, I was able to see that this book would contain Robin Hobb's writing at her peak level. The way that she would set the scenes, the way that she would talk about these characters, reintroducing us to these old characters that we have known and loved and followed for many books now, but also she was introducing us to some new characters. The way that she described this place, the setting where the story essentially takes place, just this book takes place primarily in one location. We really get to see the description of this place and it comes to life. Something else that I loved right away from the opening chapter was there is a very particular quality to the writing. It feels warm and wholesome and it has this kind of musical, melodic cadence to it, but also there is a menacing, dangerous, somber, sinister quality. There's like danger lurking behind the corner, so you really feel like you're not at ease. This book has the greatest things about the Farseer trilogy, the great character work, the beautiful atmosphere, some really great writing. It also has the best qualities of the rest of the series in the realm of the Elderlings, especially Tawny Man. You know, this book really has the tension and the excitement and the interactions of characters in Tawny Man, but we also get to see some of the great things that she's been doing in Life Ship Traders really come to a fruition in here. I'm gonna put the book down just because my hands are getting kind of like ridiculously tight clutching it. But I will say that something that I really appreciated about this book specifically is that it kind of reads differently to the rest of the books in the entire series. This book, Fool's Assassin, really reads like a classic. It has that kind of slow but deliberate pace. It's really wonderfully well paced. I will talk about the pacing in a minute, but the pacing is really great. We get to see these character scenes, all of these chapters that really get you immersed into the story and everything, but then there are some really exciting incidents that happen, and it's just, it reads like a classic with like some slightly horrifying gothic elements. Actually, there are some scenes in this book that feel straight horrifying. Like, I was like, what is this? Like, this is really terrifying. Something that Robin Hobb manages to create wonderfully well in this book is the sense of atmosphere. This book takes place primarily in one location. There are some other locations, of course, but primarily in one setting. And because of that, we are really able to feel that kind of oppressive tension of living in this one big manor house. It's a little bit like claustrophobic, but at the same time wonderful and magical. isolated, but it's just such a great sense of place. Also, I thought it was really wonderful that we are following these very mundane activities that the characters are doing in this house, like mundane chores, everyday activities, and still everything is infused with a certain tension. Now, of course, we need to talk about the characters, because character work is, I think, Robin Hobb's greatest quality overall, and in this book, wow, that holds true as well. Of course, the character of Fitz is the protagonist of all of the Fitz books, so this is a character that we've been following for a number of books now. We've seen his trials and tribulations, his triumphs and his losses, and we really deal with him dealing with the repercussions of everything that's happened in the previous books in the series. We really get to see more sides to his character, especially him now as a authority figure, a father figure, symbolically father figure as well. We get to see him as the leader of the pack in a way, the master of the house. Master of the house. Da 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 da. Les Mis? No? Anyone? Okay. We really get to see him in this role of a father, a mentor, and there are some interactions with another character that I won't reveal who this character is because it's a surprise. Some of those interactions just really killed me. Like, I was on the verge of tears. Really loved those interactions. This new character that I won't reveal because it's a surprise for sure, I think it's also one of the highlights of this book. It's a new character. This character gets a POV, so we get to see chapters from their point of view, and that is so refreshing and so unexpected. But you know, it could have easily gone really wrong really fast, but no, Robin Hobb did so well by creating this character and giving them a point of view chapters. Really great. I love the character. I love the way that Robin Hobb wrote the character, and her POV chapters for this character were great. Really well executed. It's a character that you immediately relate to, you warm up to them. I don't want to say any pronouns because this character, again, is a revelation. I just loved the way that Robin Hobb wrote this character. But you know, it's not only Fitz and the new character, as is the case with Robin Hobb's books in general. The entire cast of characters is complex and interesting. They really make you feel a lot of emotions. Like some of the characters, like Lady Shun, for example, got me so viscerally angry. It was so delicious. And then there were some mysterious characters like Lant, Fitz Vigilant. I loved that character too, very interesting. There are, again, these characters that have warm, wholesome, lovely sides to them, but there's always a sense of paranoia almost, like you are just waiting for something creepy or unexpected to happen. Now, I never thought I would say this about a Robin Hobb book, but I need to applaud Robin Hobb, give her a standing ovation for the pacing. The pacing in this book is magnificent. This might be the best paced book in the entire realm of the Elderlings that I've read so far. That's a very big thing to say, but you know, I honestly don't see how this book could have been better paced. The pacing is not slow, but it is it follows this it's like a classical novel. So there are some chapters that are very character focused. Not a lot happens, but they are so engaging and intriguing, and everything is filled with tension. Even if nothing really interesting was happening on the surface, even if we were just doing laundry or everyday chores, everything felt meaningful and like it was part of the story or part of the characters or part of the themes, part of something. It wasn't like the Rainwild Chronicles where a lot of stuff, even the action, felt kind of meaningless or not very significant, or it didn't really amount to anything by the end. A lot of the stuff that people complain about with the Rainwild Chronicles, me included, is that some of the chapters feel very repetitive, very meaningless, and very just insignificant, and just kind of there to fill the book. Here it's the opposite. Here everything adds up to something else. I love how we got a great refreshing mixture of point of view chapters, because we get Fitz's point of view, the usual Fitz point of view chapters, but then we get the other characters' point of view. And the way that those play by the second half of the book, more or less, it's so refreshing because they really have a distinct voice, which is something else that Robin Hobb crafts exquisitely. The voice of all of the characters, but specifically these two characters, it's so refreshing. Also, these newer point of view chapters are a lot faster, and so they really give a sense of rhythm to the book. So overall, amazing pacing. Just to give you a sense of the pacing, this book is 630 pages, and for me that would be like maybe 10 days worth of reading, but I think I read it in under 6 days. It was exquisitely paced. Finally, something else that I have to gush about this book is the ending. That ending broke me. That ending was like, it was as good as some of the scenes in Fool's Fate. That ending has completely shaken me. It just took me by surprise. I loved it, but I was so surprised and so hooked. The best cliffhanger that Robin Hobb has ever written. So as an overall conclusion, I would say that I loved this book as a standalone, but just thinking that this is going to be the setup, the introduction for the ending, the beginning of the ending, if you will, the beginning of the end, it has enormous potential. I cannot wait to see where we go from here. Also, I think this book is flawless as a showcase of everything that Robin Hobb has given us and that we have loved in her previous novels. In all of her series, there's stuff to love and there's stuff to not love as much, but here, all of the great qualities are here. So what is my star rating for this book? You would think that I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars, which I didn't. I loved this book so much, but the only reason I am not giving it the full 5 stars is because if I compare this to the 5-star books of the Realm of the Elderlings, Ship of Magic, The Mad Ship, and Fool's Fate, I think I'm still needing an extra something else, a je ne sais quoi, in Fool's Assassin to give it 5 stars. Actually, it might be that this book is a 5-star book, but because it is quieter and better paced, honestly, more deliberately paced, it might feel like it's not a 5 stars. I think the only way of really rating this book is going to be just to let it simmer and let time dictate what the rating is. But so far, I am giving it a 4.5. But this is weird with Robin Hobb because some of the books in the Rainwild Chronicles, I gave 4 stars to, so the same rating or sort of the same rating. And none of them are nearly as good as this one. Like, this is by miles superior to most of the Robin Hobb books that I've read. This is better than anything in Farseer. This is better than many things in Tawny Man, and it's infinitely superior to everything and anything in the Rainwild Chronicles. So this book is probably like a 5 out of 5, but just because I don't want to put it right up there with Fool's Fate, Ship of Magic, and The Mad Ship. This is just a smidge below, but again, when I finish the trilogy, I will make my series review and give you my final rating. Thanks for watching this video. Leave a comment down below. Tell me all of your thoughts on Fool's Assassin by Robin Hobb. Keep it spoiler free, please, and I will see you on the next video.